pretty kitty baby doesn't get enough attention. She's usually doing her own thing. She's a very private portion. And very sheddy. But sometimes we get a lapse. She likes a soft blankie. That's her preference. I even put a pillow on my lap, but she won't just sit on the pillow. She needs the soft, that microfiber. A lot of my blankies are this microfiber stuff, and she's a big fan. I don't care that my room's messy. My room's going to be messy for a while. I'm still figuring out how to put my life together. After devastating losses, 3 significantly devastating losses. My mother, who was my best friend for my entire life, the only one who loved me as I was, 100%. And we didn't see eye to eye on literally everything. She had her own opinions about things, and so did I. She was my best friend, and she died in February. And before that, the partner I had been with for 4.5 years, telling my life plans to and thinking we were on the same page. I'm always upfront. You've heard how I speak. I'm a very direct person. I try not to pussyfoot. I don't really like to. People say it's the tism, but I don't know. It's just who I am. I choose radical honesty. What can I say? I was upfront about the life that I wanted, and he wasn't. He was a liar. I don't think he knew he was a liar. He just was one. Baby's got a black head. Anyway, white head. I want to pop your zit so bad. She won't let me. And before that, I lost my 20-year career due to the abuses of one man who was prioritized above the safety of literally every other adult in the building and the children. I hear back about how that school's doing without me, and there she goes to hide. She loves when I leave my space a mess. Plenty of little hiding places for her. Her favorite right now is she loves in the closet in the corner. She has a few favorites, but anyway. But yeah, I lost my career, the career that I loved, that I got 3 degrees in, 2 of them master's degrees, because district promoted and prioritized one very egotistical person who never was a teacher, never was an educator. They just kind of pushed him through, and there's a whole big controversial conversation to be had about that. But the consequences of me being a good union rep were that I was then targeted by said principal who ruined my life at work. And I mean that literally. Like, he came out after me. He sought ways to make my life more difficult. He invented, I'm not kidding, invented parent complaints that when I said, prove it, he couldn't. And when I had the receipt saying, but all of these parents support me, and we just had parent-teacher conference, and every single meeting went really well, so I don't know what you're talking about. Things like that. Because I was a good union rep, because I represented the needs of my people, my constituents. And that was it. He was a petty man who was not good at his job. Oh, and by the way, I was qualified to do his job. I have a license in public education administration. I am still certified in the state of Utah to be a principal. And I had 18 years of experience on his ass. I was qualified to do his job, and he knew it, and he was threatened by me, and so he forced me out. So I've experienced some loss, some frustration, some injustice. It's very frustrating, and it causes a person, just any person, but especially a person like me, to, why should I bother? You know? To just not give a shit, because turns out none of that stuff matters. My mom matters, but I just mean obeying the system, which is deeply patriarchal, in order to maintain a shitty relationship where he never really was fully in, and he never let me move into the house, and I had to keep my clothes in a plastic closet for like 3 years until I finally just took over one of the bonus rooms, because he never let me even move into our shared bedroom. None of my stuff was in our shared bedroom. The house that I helped pay for, half, and I paid for cleaning, completely by myself. And that was because my job, I was like, I'll take the inside stuff, because he wanted the outside stuff, and then he never maintained the yard. So we just lived in a really ugly house for a long time. And why should I fucking bend over backwards to please that guy because he married me to get me insurance after I lost my job, did a quickie wedding in Vegas, and then he got mad at me for not letting him control my finances when I told him we weren't combining finances because I'd been financially abused and had my money stolen by a previous partner. And then he said, I thought marriage would fix this. And the district took the side of the principal after being forced to pay me 2 months paid leave while they investigated why he tried to suspend me when I took leave after requesting FMLA in writing. So legally, they had nothing else they could do. But they still supported him, and they still found ways to make my life shitty. And I'm like, why am I working for people who, number one, hate me, and number two, gave me COVID? Remember back in 2020? See what Davis School District in Utah did about COVID in 2020. And when I tell you, when we went back to full population in school, second term, not second semester, second term, so about 9 weeks into the school year, which was also about 2 months before the vaccine was available. So they could have just done hybrid for another 2 months, and they chose not to. I got COVID immediately after we got back to face-to-face full. Because we had been doing hybrid half classes, and it was beautiful, and it was actually working. And then they changed it, and I got COVID, and I was sick for 3 weeks, and then I had long COVID for 2 to 3 years. Hard to say. The brain fog really makes it difficult to track. Gained 60 pounds because I couldn't breathe and couldn't move because I got asthma, which I still have. So they permanently disabled me. Why was I putting up with their shit anymore? Why was I putting up with his shit anymore? Why was I putting up with anybody's shit anymore? Why was I putting up with my mom's husband's bullshit anymore after she was gone? Why am I putting up with people who don't like me? So I stopped. And I don't do that anymore. And I don't have any money. I mean, I have literally negative money. I don't care. Why should I give a shit? I didn't invent money. I didn't invent the credit system. The credit system was invented to oppress my class. Why should I care? Why should I bend over backwards to get my credit score up for a system that doesn't give a shit about me? When I'm perfectly happy living in an apartment that is tiny. Like, so here's my room. And this is a full-size bed. You can't fit a queen in here. You know, that's a full size, and there's a little bit of room for walkway and a couple pieces of furniture, and that's all you can fit in here. And the rest of the house ain't much bigger. I'll take a tour of it soon. I'm paying $1,200 a month for it. Yeah, an apartment double this size that I lived in 2006 in Las Vegas was $800 a month. And I know it's been 20 years, but that was in Las Vegas, Nevada, not Ogden, fucking Utah. But anyway, I digress. You should check out the housing market issues in Utah. It's a significant problem here because the government gives tax cuts and allowances and changes the laws, like zoning laws and things like that, for corporations to make more money, because guess what? The people who run this state are very well known as a, how do you call it? Real estate. What do you call it? A big real estate corporation runs this state. And all of a sudden everybody's being priced out of property and being forced to rent. No one can buy property unless they're corporations or the extremely wealthy, and everybody else has to rent. What does that fucking sound like? Feudalism? Because it is. It's feudalism. Why should I care about how I'm doing when everything around me is feudalism? I'm a serf in a feudalistic nation. Why should I care what they think about me? Why should I care if my house is messy? Why should I care if I haven't finished moving in? I don't give a shit. What I care the most about is that my life is my own. And no, it's not entirely yet, because I still can't get away with not paying rent. I mean, I'm pretty close to having what I need to live off the grid. I've got a camper. I've got a camper van. I'm almost ready for off the grid life, and I might actually do it. But as of right now, we're not ready for that. And we wouldn't survive a winter in Utah off the grid. So I'm not ready, but pretty soon I'll be even rent-free if I can help it. It's either living in a camper or buying some property. Maybe both. Maybe I buy property and put my camper on it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't give a shit. That's the thing. That's what nihilism really is. And that's what that kitty taught me. That's what being closer to animals than other humans has taught me, is why give a shit? I do what I want. I sleep when I want. I owe my time to nobody. I choose who I work for and how I earn my money. And the people I have chosen to work for and with to earn money like me and value my presence and value my contribution and see what I do as a benefit and see me as a benefit to their organization. Weird. Do they pay me enough? Nah, that's not their fault. It's a slowly growing business that probably has the funds to pay people in the bar better, but you know how corporations can be. They're doing all right though. It's a pretty small organization. I'm not too mad about it. Besides the pay, it's genuinely the best environment I've ever worked in. And it's a bar. There's so much freedom there. Anyway, I don't know why I got to talking about that. The kitty left, so conversation had to follow. Because I can't hold her. I can't hold her in my lap to make her stay with me and want to spend time with me, and it wouldn't be valuable if I tried. That would be wasted time. That'd be a wasted interaction, because she wouldn't have wanted to be there and our relationship would be harmed for it. I love without condition. Do you know what that means? I've known it for a long time about myself, but I didn't know exactly what that means. I think it's supposed to be how we function in the world as humans. I think that's why the neurodivergent evolution of our species is hitting right now, because we need it, the ability to love without condition, because we've been conditioned to think that we need to serve some purpose, somebody, something, to do labor, to do service, to fill a role in society in order to be allowed to live. Because people are starving to death. People are dying because they don't have shelter. People are dying because they don't have access to basic needs in a country that has literally enough empty houses owned by corporations to house every homeless person and enough food stockpiled and stored and being actively produced to feed every single person in this country. And the only reason they aren't being allowed to live, these people who are dying, is because they are seen as not having value because they don't serve a prescribed purpose. So why should I give a shit what they think about me when they're so very obviously demons, criminals, the devil, evil, malignant, destructive? No, I don't even like destructive. Destruction serves a fucking purpose, and these people don't serve any goddamn purpose. All they are is de-evolved. They are the opposite of the evolution of our human species. And we're better than them. So why should we care what they think? That cat knows she's better than me. She's so much more aware of who she is and what she needs in this life and in the world, and she does not give a shit about anybody's opinions, and she will show up on her own time and when it serves her, and she will give you love and give you affection to her capacity and then be done. And she has a right to exist, doesn't she? Does she owe me anything because I took her from that wood pile a long time ago and decided to house and feed her? Does she owe me anything because I kidnapped her from the life she was living outside? She loves being outside. She's not allowed outside right here in the city. But when we lived further out in the outskirts, she was a daytime wanderer. She had the freedom, and now she doesn't. And I do feel bad about that. And the least I can do, keeping her cooped up in this house, she can choose. Yeah, sure. Would she be more likely to die left out in the wilderness to fend for herself? Maybe. But she's also a really fucking clever cat. She might just prefer that life of freedom, but she has chosen to stay here with me. I've given her the chance to leave, and she came back every time. And I feed her. And I love her. And we take care of each other. And that's the exchange. Will I let her leave now? No, because I think she'll die and I don't want her to, and I don't think she minds it. She's not begging to go out the door. Do I have that control over her? Yeah, I do. Should I? I don't know. People talk about it. Whether or not you should let your cats outside. There's this huge debate. Cats are an invasive species. My cat never killed anything. I'm not kidding. She brought a live mouse into the house one time, and Chester had to kill it. She doesn't kill shit. She's just an explorer lady. I don't know. Why did we domesticate animals in the fucking first place? Domestication to me indicates control. I don't do domestication. I'm not domesticated myself. Look at my fucking house. Do I like living like this? No, but it's not because I want to follow some fucking domestication vibe. It's because it doesn't function. I need things to function. It's for my brain to function. I'm a very visual person. If my visual space is dysfunctional, so is my brain. So I'll fix it. For myself. In the way that I like. I'll put things on the wall that I like. I will arrange my furniture the way that I like. I'll set up my workspaces the way that I like. And it's really nice to finally have the freedom to do that, because before I was stuck in a classroom that was owned by other people and I was told what to do, and a house that was half owned by somebody else who definitely told me what to do and wouldn't let me move in completely. And cut off ties with that guy who was married to my mom because he tried to tell me what to do, because he doesn't like that I'm queer. Why don't you stop doing that, he says. What? Existing? I can't stop. I was raised in a gender-controlled religion and community. You raised me, and I still came out knowing that I was not ever that. I knew from childhood, even though I didn't have the language for it or the model to follow. I had nothing to go off of but what was in my own fucking head. And I was still attracted to girls, and I was still not a girl. I never was a boy either. I was kind of a little bit of both. Go figure. Turns out I'm somewhere in the middle. Biologically and gender. Doesn't fucking matter. I was built different. And because I was built so different, I never had the option to fit in. I was never gonna fit into the mold that they pushed through that factory they invented to make us all try to come out the same. They couldn't lock me in because I never fit. I was too big and a lot too mean. So here I am, like a cat, not giving a shit. It's the best thing I've ever done. Anyway. It's like 6 o'clock on a Tuesday, and I just don't have to do anything. I don't have to grade. I don't have to worry about other people's problems. I don't have to accommodate somebody else's schedule. I sometimes have to work with my roommate because we share a vehicle, but that's about it. And that's somebody I chose. And he likes me for who I am, too. So anyway, what I'm saying is, there is a different option, and you can choose it too. Be a cat like me.